Hi everyone, I'm Mike Barner and welcome to Awesemo Fantasy Football. Are you tired of the same old groupthink mentality? Then try our data-driven approach from the world's #1 daily fantasy sports player, Alex Awesemo Baker. Alex has used his projections expertise to create his first ever set of premium season-long fantasy football rankings. Head on over to awesemo.com to find out about a different approach to your fantasy football drafts. Now let's dive into our top 3 ranked defenses for the upcoming season. Make sure to hit the like button on this video and comment with your top 3 ranked defenses, as well as one defense that could be a sleeper this season. Number 1 on our list is the San Francisco 49ers. Last season they allowed an average of 281.8 total yards per game, which was the second fewest mark in the NFL. They also had 27 total turnovers, which was the 6th best mark, and 48 total sacks, which was tied for the 5th most. They're projected to score 114.1 fantasy points as they return most of their key starters this season. Another important projection is for them to have 7.44 fantasy points per game in the fantasy playoffs, which are weeks 15 and 16. Number 2 on our list is the Pittsburgh Steelers. After quarterback Ben Roethlisberger went down with an injury last year, they had to rely on their running game and their defense to stay competitive in games. They traded for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick, who turned out to be a huge addition to the team. They allowed the 5th fewest total yards per game and led the NFL in both total turnovers and sacks. They're projected to score 113.4 fantasy points this season. They're also projected to average 7.28 fantasy points per game during the fantasy playoffs when they face the Bengals and the Colts. Our 3rd ranked defense may be a bit of a surprise. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They are actually our top overall projected team with 115.2 fantasy points. Despite teams having to throw against them a lot last season, they allowed 19.3 points per game, which was the 7th fewest mark in the NFL. They ranked 11th in sacks and 13th in total turnovers. With teams having to throw against them so much, they do have an opportunity to rack up additional sacks and turnovers that other teams might not. The reason why they are not ranked as our #1 overall defense despite having the top overall projection is their tough schedule in the fantasy playoffs. In week 15 they have to play at the Saints, and in week 16 they play at home against Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and the Atlanta Falcons. Thank you for tuning in to another Awesemo Fantasy Football video, and don't forget to hit the like button and comment with your top 3 ranked defenses, as well as one defense that could be a sleeper. Also, head on over to awesemo.com/fantasyfootball to sign up for our draft kit. Our draft kit includes rankings, projections, our strength of schedule tool, and our draft wingman, which helps you build optimal lineups for your best ball and season-long fantasy football drafts. All of this and more can be had for a total of just $29.95.